And Wooly.
Of course we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Brick City Blockade Podcast, live here in 2024.
First
Guys,
episode of the year.
Big round of applause to ourselves for making it through 2023 and being here today.
That's an understatement for 2024.
It's a whoa.
Sorry for the noises upstairs. There's the big spoon dropped.
You know, we say congrats for getting through 2023, and then suddenly there's this giant sound of things crashing in the background and crashing down.
I mean, we do earthquakes here, so you never know.
That's true. That's very true. Well, welcome, folks. Today is a very special day. It is the 25th anniversary of Star Wars podcasting. If you can believe it, Star Wars podcasting has been around for 25 years. And today is Star Wars Podcast Day. So what a day to come back to podcasting for Brick City Blockade on Star Wars Podcast Day. So shout out to all the podcasts out there that have been cranking episodes today. Guys, I mean, you know, we're here in 2024. These are some really exciting times to be getting back into podcasting. Andrew, what are your thoughts heading into 2024 here and what we've got planned coming up ahead?
Compared to what last year brought me as a whole, I'm excited for anything that's coming this year, especially the conventions we're going to, just everything that we're getting this year. Sean's getting a new Taylor Swift album.
Yeah, look
at
that.
Shaelyn.
Oh, yeah.
There's Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
There's a new Godzilla vs. Kong movie, which obviously I'm going to go and see that, and I'll give a brief review if you guys want.
Sure.
I hit 1,247K subscribers.
Shout out to that right there. Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job.
But yeah, I'm just excited for everything this year, especially some conventions that we're going to. Trying to be vague as best as I can.
Absolutely. And shout out Rural Farm Boy right there. Not got long. That's fine, my friend. We've got your question coming up.
Welcome
down the road here. So we'll be checking out there. How about you, Sean? Heading into 2024 here. A lot of cool stuff coming up down the road.
We do, especially for our podcast. We got, like Andrew said, we have the conventions coming in. We'll have plenty more. We got PAX East coming. We have Fan Expo hopefully soon, and we'll have other stuff. So I'm excited for that. We got a lot of plans for our podcast to do. We'll keep it bi-weekly and not miss like the past few years. And maybe we'll get up to like 80 by the end of this year. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see how everything rolls. Yeah,
we'll see.
But it's a really exciting time. Rural Farm Boy, everybody. Hey, look who just showed up.
We got
Tony.
We got Meatloaf Tony.
Meatloaf Tony here. For all you audio listeners, if you don't know, Andrew, do you want to explain what Meatloaf Tony is?
All right, I'll explain
who he is. Sorry.
So Meatloaf Tony is a member of the Steelbook crew on my YouTube channel as well as Dave's. Him and Dave went on a trip to Universal Horror Nights, and before they went to Horror Nights, they went to Cracker Barrel and trying to decide what they want to eat. Dave just turned to him. He's like, "What about the Meatloaf, Tony?" So it's just stuck with Meatloaf Tony the entire time.
Meatloaf Tony! Hey, big shout out to Meatloaf Tony. Let's give him a round of applause. Nice shot. Good to see you there, Tony. Good to see you in here. Let's get into our topics this evening. Of course, big announcements there. You know, and every freaking time we want to come on here and talk about stuff, it seems like Disney or Marvel or whoever it is ends up coming out with more stuff. So, of course, there'll be things sprinkled in here in terms of new announcements and whatever else that have come out. But I want to really get into the Mandalorian and Grogu film. The fact that the next Mandalorian season, we're going to get the traditional release of episodes, but we're going to end this thing with a freaking film in theaters. And as I says at the bottom, it means we grab popcorn and soda in 2026. Today we got the official release year for when we're going to get this. It's unfortunate that it's so far out. We have to wait 2 years for it. But Andrew, from what I've been seeing and the excitement that's building around this, it makes a lot of sense because we have so many other projects that Star Wars wants to work on. They want to make sure they line them up the right way.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. I feel like they might have bumped up the Mandalorian and Grogu movie because I think I'm going to trigger a lot of people, but the Rey Skywalker movie was supposed to be the first movie in the new line, from what I understand. Correct. But because they're replacing the director, I feel like they're like, all right, we probably have Mandalorian and Grogu already being worked on. We might as well push that up, put Rey Skywalker on the shelf for another 30 years. And I'm excited for it. I'm curious how the season is going to lead into the movie. And I'm also curious to see where the movie leads into Heir to the Empire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the big thing because we know Heir to the Empire is going to be coming up. Dave Filoni wants to wrap this up, Sean. And I think with this also as well, you and I have talked about this too outside of recording, is this idea that, we're going to get a regular Mandalorian season coming up here before the film. And, a lot of people are saying, well, is it going to feel like these episodes are going to be filler before we get the film, or how are they going to go about directing this? I don't think it's
not necessarily it's going to do that. It shouldn't. I mean, if you're going to do a full season, and you got to go all out and then go out on the movie.
Yeah,
because it makes sense instead of having a filler season. That would make sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
The best time I've seen a show or a series finish up with a movie, and this is really the only example that I personally can think of. I'm sure there are more, but it was Sense8 on Netflix, and it was a really, really good show, a fantastic show. It got, I think, did it get 1 or 2 seasons? I think it got one.
It got 1 season, yeah.
And they canceled it. And
I thought it got 2 seasons. I thought
it might have gotten 2 seasons. Yeah, I think it got 2 seasons. But they canceled it, and the fans were livid because it was one of the very few shows that was, it was about humanity and sexuality and interculturality, and it really usurped a lot of stuff. It really talked about a lot of stuff that is not talked about. And the outcry for canceling it was so bad that they actually were like, oh, okay, we got to do something. We can't just leave it on the cliffhanger that the season ended on. So they ended it with a film. And it wasn't as good as if it had gotten a few more seasons, but it wrapped up the story in a satisfying way. So I'm not sure if they're doing this for Mandalorian, where it's like, okay, do we have enough content to give it 3 more seasons? And my guess is probably not. I think the end for Grogu and the Mandalorian and Din is to, find a home and live a life, right? So they've battled all of they've done their work, and so now their story is being used as a kind of a vehicle for which to tell the story of the reinstitution of Mandalore. So it's not really their story anymore. It's just being told by way of them,
And that kind of goes along with the Heir to the Empire, right? Like, Thrawn is such a major player in that, I think everybody's been asking too, Sean, as we head closer towards this upcoming season of The Mandalorian, how much does Thrawn play into this? I think we're going to see a whole bunch of freaking Thrawn. I think we have to, because we only got the little snippets of him in this last season. We really need to see the Thrawn that we saw in Star Wars Rebels, which was the ruthless, getting to know who his people were that he wanted to attack.
Yeah. Well, you also have to remember Rebels was a couple of years before A New Hope. This is after Return of the Jedi. He's easily probably 7-8 years older.
Sure. Yeah.
So he's not gonna. I feel like we're gonna see the ruthless side of him.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to be a more cold and calculated Thrawn.
Oh, interesting.
We had a great introduction of a live-action Thrawn with Ahsoka So I mean that helps a big deal for having him come in the Mandalorian as well.
Where do we see Grogu's path here in terms of the Mandalorian? Yes, he's going to go home, but the whole idea was, is he going to move towards training? Is he going to be force sensitive? And where does that play into the remaining part of the timeline?
I think what's probably going to happen, and it's probably not going to happen until either the end of the Mandalorian Grogu movie or Heir to the in Heir to the Empire, Din is going to die.
Okay.
And it's going to be one of those moments where Luke shows up again. And it's like, I understand your friend or your father is gone. Mine is too. We can work through our loss and you can become stronger and you can still honor him. Because I know Dave's going to pull from the original Heir to the Empire book. Luke has a huge role in that series.
He does, yeah.
So I hope, this is my thought on it, if they are going to do Heir to the Empire and they are going to use Luke, I don't want them using the deep fake technology. I would rather them just recast Luke. I don't care. They recast Han Solo and it worked fine.
Yeah.
As long as the actor acts like Luke, kind of looks like him, I'm fine. You can get Sebastian Stan or even the actor that does the body double for Luke for the deepfake stuff. He looks enough like Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm. He does. Sean, what are your thoughts about Grogu and where we're heading in with him?
Honestly, I don't know. I would like to actually go back to Coruscant and kind of like we kind of have what was his name? That we saw him from the past, from Grogu's past.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
But yeah,
yes. Ahmed Best's character.
Yeah.
Who saved Grogu? Yes.
Yeah, I would like. They kind of want him to go in that direction of him going back to that.
I got the name. It's Kelleran Beck.
Kelleran, yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Yep. Have Kelleran Beck kind of come back into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think
unless Darth Vader found him.
Wow. I mean, you want to talk about
or
Kelleran Beck.
Kelleran, yeah. Yeah.
It could have been one of those things where Vader was hunting everyone and you found where they were because they left on the Naboo starfighter or starship, and Vader would be hunting down anything that resembled anything from Padme, especially early on as Darth Vader, because the books and the comics establish that he is still like 50% Anakin, 50%. Actually, no, he's more like 70% Anakin still, and like 20% Darth Vader. He's trying to find a way to bring Padme back in some form if he can.
Right. And I mean, it all plays into, how Dave Filoni and John want to wrap this thing up in season 4, knowing that we're setting up a film. And, with Grogu too, I mean, just the way I never expected that Baby Yoda would take over the internet and take over pop culture like the character has. I mean, there are people that have never been exposed to Star Wars before who are tuning in not just on this Star Wars podcast day to learn more about Star Wars and listen to our show and other shows to learn more about Star Wars, but we're kind of brought into the fold by the Mandalorian in the introduction of Grogu. So I think we're in this unique place heading into Heir to the Empire, and obviously with a Mando film to end the upcoming season, where Disney also has to be careful with the marketing here, right?
Yeah.
They have to play it smart. We can't just suddenly say, hey, we've had our Baby Yoda, we've had our Grogu, time to move on. No, you got to find ways to continue to incorporate Grogu into stuff too.
It's also hard for them to back away from this IP because it was one of the first, if not the first, Disney Plus original.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
It was.
so many people. It brought all the Star Wars fans to Disney Plus, and then anybody who was getting Disney Plus for their kids anyway was like, "Oh, look, a new show." And it really, I think it brought a lot of people into Star Wars just in general, who just maybe were only fans of the movies or were just tangential fans, and then went on to watch like all of Clone Wars or all of Bad Batch after they're done with The Mandalorian, because it's like, gotta get my fix now.
What were you gonna say, Tom?
Is season 1 still the highest like viewership?
I believe
in terms of Disney Plus.
I think season 2.
Season 2 crested over it.
Yeah, because
I think so, because
must have gone on because everybody's like asking their friends like, "Oh, did you see it? The new season's coming out," and then more people got subscriptions, so.
And then the final episode with Luke showing up is what probably made it even higher.
And they knew they had to do that. They knew they had to bring somebody back like that. And I agree with you, Andrew, when it comes to the deepfake technology, right? Mark Hamill has even come out and strictly said, go and fucking just recast this guy.
Yeah,
recast the character at this
The guy they
point.
used for the freaking deepfake, he looks
He
the
looks
same
like him.
anyway.
Yeah.
Just give him a voice coach. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's literally what Mark said too. He was like, Jesus Christ, like what the hell are you doing? Like just bring this guy in.
Yeah, no more deepfakes, please.
Yeah.
It's a little uncanny.
Like, it's gonna be weird because again, Leia is a big part of the Heir of the Empire story.
Yes, she is.
That's where I think Ahsoka might take that role.
Ooh, that leads into beautifully the next topic, which
You're
is
telling me. You're telling me.
we're not there yet, folks. We're not there yet. Hold on.
I'm still in recasting. You're telling me that we can't find one single actress who is in that 20 to 30-year-old range to play a young Leia. I'm certain there's a dead ringer.
They already casted a young Leia and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but you don't need to worry too much about young people. Like young people, it's easy.
Whoa! We're not getting ageist in here.
That's not what I meant. I meant baby face hides a lot. Like we don't know if Vivian is actually going to look like Princess Leia when she grows up, but
that's true.
She looks like her now. Like she looks like she could be her kid or her as a kid. You know, so.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get fired up about the ages thing. But.
I'm not being ageist. I'm just saying, like it's easier to replace somebody, or it's easier to cast somebody as a younger version, or a much younger version, or a much older version of a character. It's not easy to cast somebody who is like the same age as a character that you know. But I'm not saying there's no way that there's not an actress out there who looks just like my all the names are thrown in the same
fuck
place.
chart.
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher. I got the C and the F, but I'm sorry.
You did.
There's no way that there's not an actress out there who looks exactly like Carrie Fisher and is ready for a role like this. There's gotta be.
Do you remember when the whole Millie Bobby Brown conversation came up?
Yeah.
Do you remember that whole thing?
Should have been Billy Lord before she.
Well,
you could use her daughter because she did do the young Leia for Rise of Skywalker, but they used deepfake for that. I mean,
Feep Dake, that's what I call it.
Bad deepfake for that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I'd love to see Leia in that story because she's a Jedi with Luke in that story. So I hope
they found somebody who looks exactly like Luke.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Luke.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be able to find somebody who looks exactly like Leia. And I think
they found Holden Solo as with all the name, right? Why can't they do Leia?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they do use Han, if he's in Heir of the Empire.
Right.
That was a weird recast for me. I don't know if that one.
Alden did a pretty good job.
No, I'm not saying he didn't do a good job. I'm not saying he didn't do a good job. I'm just saying he doesn't really look the same. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure Harrison Ford said the same thing too.
He doesn't look like Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford doesn't look like Harrison Ford anymore.
Anyway, and I think that fans will appreciate a recast more than pouring money into deepfakes because there's a lot of controversy over deepfake technology. It's cool when it's used for stuff like this with the consent of the person's estate, especially Carrie Fisher, where she's passed away. She can't give consent for her face to be used anymore. So there needs to be, and so that's why I think that the fandom will really embrace recasting over using deepfakes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Well, we know one person.
There are also elegant storytelling ways of not like skirting around it, but yeah, go back to Ahsoka. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We know one person that will not be recasted, and that is Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. Ahsoka season 2.
Oh, but she's too serious as a
People just need.
Oh god.
Yeah.
How old is she?
You fired up Shaelyn now. God.
She would probably be in her early 50s at this
Early
point.
50s, 60.
But Togrutas live longer than humans.
Togrutas, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, no, but like she was 15 in the series, and now she's 50. Like, not the same. That is an invalid argument.
Shaelyn being ageist again.
I'm gonna put that at the bottom scroll for all you listeners out there. The new bottom scroll says Shaelyn is officially ageist. No. No, but I'm really excited about Ahsoka season 2. I'm really excited to see what comes up down the road here. And
there's so much to look forward to, like after season 1. But it's gonna be weird after having the actor who passed away.
Yes.
Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
Ray Stevenson.
Rest in peace.
Which he was
phenomenal.
The best new character that they came up with.
Yeah. Baylan Skoll was, oh my goodness.
He was Count Dooku.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's similar to Count Dooku.
Like he has a moral code. He's not above killing you.
No.
But he has his reasons.
Yeah.
He gets shit done.
There it is. That's the term. Baylan Skoll gets shit done.
Yeah. And the fact that it's tying his stuff in with the Mortis gods is so fascinating to me.
Dave's illustration
also,
for season 2.
Thrawn's stronghold was straight up Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings.
Yes. 3,000%.
Sorry, I'm gonna address this. If you've already addressed this when I was out, but recasting for that,
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Unless they just don't do anything else with the character, and they maybe pass the stuff off to Shin Hati, which I'd be fine with.
Everyone already loves Shin, so
that would be an elegant way of doing it.
Yeah, I think it would be the best way. I think
they have a unique advantage here too, because we as Star Wars fans dig deep into this, right? But people who were watching The Mandalorian learned about Ahsoka, went back and watched Rebels and watched the Clone Wars. Maybe are picking up on what we're picking up on. Maybe
my parents watched Ahsoka without watching Rebels, so they got like it. They didn't get a ton of it,
right? So if they recast or move on, I'm going to be honest here. Probably 2/3 of the majority of people who watch it are not going to notice it like we are.
Yeah,
probably.
Most likely.
Other than it looks cool.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The Mortis arc stuff is really cool. And I mean, the tie-in to Anakin and everything that we're going to see play out. I mean, that wasn't the only time we're going to see the world between worlds. I mean, we're going to.
No, it's 1,000% coming back. And
it's coming back in Bad Batch. I'm calling it right now.
Hold on, Sean. We're not there.
We're not there yet, Sean.
Follow the schedule.
Sorry.
But I'm so glad that they're getting a season 2 for Ahsoka, because there's a lot that they didn't answer, and it gives us more of a chance to see the Rebels crew back together. Because one, I want to see that interaction with Jason and Ezra.
Oh yeah,
because Ezra didn't know they had a kid. So that's going to be interesting. And it would be interesting if Ezra is Jason's like mentor.
Wow, yeah.
And I do like that his lightsaber is basically Kanan's. That he recreated Kanan's lightsaber for his new one. Because Sabine had to take his. Ooh.
Literally, Ezra's
Can
gonna
I
have that
say
moment.
Ezra's the actor who cast is like perfect for Ezra?
Absolutely.
Oh, Estevan has been amazing.
Yeah.
He's just like an older.
Like I was like, all right, this is just Ezra, just a human now,
Yeah.
not animated.
Ezra's gonna meet Jason for the first time. It's gonna be like SpongeBob seeing Mrs. Puff in the car. He's gonna be like, oh, it's
That
gonna
would be
great.
amazing. Hey, and Dave Filoni, I used to work at Nickelodeon.
I
and he
know,
used to
that's
get
what I'm
pranked by the
saying.
SpongeBob guys. So
That's what I'm saying. The intertwining of it all. So in terms of the Mortis,
Tom Kenny is going to be in the new.
oh well, Tom needs to make a comeback at some point. He was in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
he
He did
was.
voice acting in Clone Wars. Yeah,
He does voice acting everywhere.
yeah, that's true.
hashtag.
He was
bring
also the
Tom Kenny
narrator
back.
for Powerpuff Girls
Oh, great. Yep, that's right.
and the mayor.
And the mayor, the Powerpuff Girls. Yep, that's right. I mean, so Andrew, I'll start with you. What is the one thing in Ahsoka season 2, knowing that we're heading closer and closer and closer, very similar to the Marylorian,
The Mary- the Mary Men.
It's not Christmas yet. As we're moving closer to Heir to the Empire, the final film here with Ahsoka season 2, Andrew, what are some things in terms of Mortis or in terms of Ahsoka's development as she moves closer to this very Gandalf type figure in white?
She is straight up Gandalf.
She is. What are some things that you would like to see in this upcoming season as we're leading up?
I would like to see her rebuilding her relationship with Anakin.
Yeah.
Because granted, they had that epic training episode, but that relationship is still a bit damaged.
Yeah.
And we're getting more Hayden, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
And I need to see him talking about Luke bringing him back.
Oh, yeah.
Because we haven't gotten anything on that yet. And obviously we're going to get more Thrawn stuff unless they are saving Thrawn for Mandalorian season 4.
Right. This is that tie-in where
But that's the other thing. We still haven't gotten anything on Skeleton Crew, which was supposed to be due out in January.
It's February.
I know.
Sean, thank you for the calendar check. Appreciate that.
And we haven't really gotten anything on Acolyte. I know it's still it's basically done. But one, why haven't we gotten the trailer that everyone got at Celebration? 2, where is everything?
Andrew's ultimate question is, where the hell is everything?
Yeah, like
They're waiting for May the 4th. That's what I'm saying.
That is a long ways to wait.
Yeah, that is.
It is.
And going back to Ahsoka, I want to see more of Sabine figuring out the Force, because I'm fine with her being a Force user. And those who are like, oh, she shouldn't be able to use the Force. If you remember, in Star Wars New Hope, Obi-Wan clearly says the Force binds everyone together. Everyone has a connection to the Force. Some are just more in tune to it than others.
Yeah. I think those are all important elements that I think could be major factors as we head closer to the Heir to the Empire film. How about you, Sean? What are some things here with Ahsoka season 2? I want to see Rosario Dawson build out on her version of Ahsoka and the character.
I would love to see her actually reach out to Shin.
Yeah.
And kind of get a better connection. I mean, we saw her how she was like half the second half. She was kind of doubting Ray Stevenson's character.
Decisions. Yeah,
she was very conflicted, but you also have to think like that's all she knew was his teaching. So when she like started to interact with like Ahsoka and even Ezra,
I think Shin's a better I guess Padawan to Ahsoka than Sabine is. And then if you know I'm That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say. Kind of.
I can see that because
I think it's easier for Ahsoka to train Shin. That's what I'm saying.
Shin is more
If
headstrong
that happens.
how Ahsoka was as a Padawan, from what I noticed anyway. And she's also very hot-headed, like Anakin, because she's fire ready aim for what she's about gonna do. But the thing that I loved about her character is she didn't speak a whole lot, but her facial expressions told 1,000 stories. Like,
Yeah.
just there's a lot going on, and I want to learn more about one, where she came from, two, where she's going to go from here. And that's the other thing with Baylan Skull is like he found the Mortis statues. Maybe his story is done. Like that was his main goal, was to find the statues or find what was calling to him. And maybe he's the guardian of those statues now, which honestly I would be fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, Ahsoka season 2 has it's. I never thought that we would have, and I guess it's because we had Ahsoka meet Din at one point, and it was kind of like, okay, this is Dave and John saying these two worlds are going to mesh at some point, and that was the announcement of the Ahsoka series. But I never thought that they would be so intertwined in this way now. That we're now going to end it with a final film. But before then, we're going to get a Mando and Grogu film just to wrap that end of things up. Would it make sense for Ahsoka season 2 to be the final season for Ahsoka, knowing that that's coming up down the road? Or do you think they're going to say, hold on a second here, let's see how this plays out and what the fans take back from this and see where we're going to play?
Probably the second of the latter.
Yeah. I feel
think
like there's still, unless she dies, there's still more to do with Ahsoka's character and even the Rebels characters, because there's more you can do with that, or just straight up just do a live action Star Wars Rebels season.
It's literally
which is what Ahsoka was, because like the first episode was literally the epilogue.
Rebel season 5. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it ended up being. And speaking of animated films, and we're excited for Ahsoka, we're excited for The Mandalorian, but we just went back before we hit record here and we rewatched the trailer for Bad Batch, the upcoming season. One final push here for the Bad Batch, and a lot of exciting stuff coming up here with the Bad Batch. We went back, saw the trailer. Andrew, I mean, the fact that in this trailer we get Palpy's himself, that he is really, really instructing so much of the downfall of whatever clones remain. We know this to be fact. We know this to be true. But, you know, Grandpa Palpy's is out there and he's like, you know what? I'm going to give you whatever fucking resources you need to take these motherfuckers out.
Did you do that, or
it wasn't me?
It was the Force.
It was definitely
more Palpatine, the better. Well, besides Rise Skywalker, but I'm because it's new territory of what Palpatine's doing at this point. He wasn't an emperor that just sat in the Imperial Palace. He was going around doing stuff, and
he had his own desk, so.
He had 2 desks.
2 desks, yeah.
2, Sean. 2 desks.
2 desks.
The thing that does bother me is Ventress being alive here.
Yeah.
Because she died before the end of the Clone Wars in Dark Disciple. Count Dooku's the one that killed her. And it was a script for the Clone Wars. I get it. That didn't come out. But the book came out after the acquisition of Lucasfilm, and in that slate of new canon material with the books. Unless there's something where I don't know, where she was revived or something like that,
Yeah.
or they explain what might have happened, I'm okay with it. But at the same time, it's like, I get it,
Sure.
but it's not the first time they changed something, because Deppa's death was different also in the Kanan comics too.
Right.
And she also had a green lightsaber, not blue. That's my issue with new Disney stuff, is I feel like this is just my personal perspective of stuff. There's too many blue lightsabers right now. Everyone who's gotten a new lightsaber, it's blue.
Knock it
Why
off,
is-
blue sabers.
Blue.
Like,
No more blue.
like, is it just me? Like, Ezra's new lightsaber is blue. What
Yeah.
happened to him having a green one before? Like, yeah, I know it's Sabine's now, but I
Hey,
don't know.
by the way, shout out to all the non-blue lightsabers out there. Shout out to all the non-blue lightsabers out there. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Hashtag non-blue lightsabers.
Hashtag non-blue lightsabers. I mean, so Andrew, you and I might disagree on this a little bit. This might be interesting here. You know, I get where you're coming from, right? And also shout out to Andrew's skepticism, because usually it brings about a really good conversation here every single time. I think it's really great that they're bringing back Ventress. Do I understand that Star Wars has a history of not listening to its authors and not listening to the people who develop the novels and the canon stories? Yes, they do. However, this is the one case, and Scottish is going to ream me for this one, because he would probably agree with you, Andrew, on this, that like, if you're going to do a retcon like this, then you're going to have to really, really, really explain how that happened, right?
Mhm.
I think we're talking about a very specific side of the fandom. I'm not sure, other than Palpatine, if they had anything to drive a final season of the Bad Batch. Other than rescuing Omega, I'm not sure there was any other subplot other than their destruction in the process that they could add to the story. So they're using the retcon here as a way of bringing back somebody that people, because of Clone Wars and because of folks going back and doing all these rewatches and rereadings, that people can relate to in that way. That's me just being a devil's advocate on this. I don't believe in the devil. I don't worship the devil, so don't put that out there. But it's me being
signed the
Yeah,
papers,
yeah,
though.
you're not
Oh,
me.
fine, I did it. All right.
Because according to my YouTube comments, I'm a devil worshiper because I
Yeah,
bought the Omen set. But you know,
What's going on there? Like, you know,
I bought the Omen Scream Factory set, and because the Omen is about some of the devil, they're like,
People need to
"Oh,
calm
you
down.
worship the devil."
people need to calm down.
That's an understatement.
Or as Sean likes to say, or in quoting Taylor Swift,
So you need to calm down.
But Robin, you were wrong.
Oh, okay. Why is that? You got to explain yourself now.
Ding, 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 ding.
There are plenty of other Force user characters that they could use. They could have used Quinlan Voss. He's still alive. He's still doing his own thing,
How do we know that they're not going to use Quinlan Voss?
because we only saw the one episode or the one trailer, and you're still wrong.
I like the WWE hand chop in there, by the way.
Season 3's not even out. Why don't we just wait and let it out?
Okay, so Sean, if you
No,
want to
we don't do that, Sean.
now, Sean, you're inserting yourself into this conversation. What are your takes?
No.
on Ventress coming? I didn't even finish my sentence. Sean's like, no,
No.
no, not happening.
No.
So no, but seriously, Sean Misha, Bad Batch season 3. Don't
Could
say
have
no.
been Barris Offee.
Oh,
It could have been. It should have been.
Sean, your take on Bad Batch season 3, what Andrew and I are talking about here, and maybe you have a fight that you want to pick with us.
I'm kind of agreeing with Robin here, actually.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Just because
I used to
they
like
need
Sean.
to explain it. We don't know what's gonna happen. We gotta wait until we find out, and then after you can say you're wrong or you're right.
You're still wrong. But I do like that.
But I'm excited for season 3,
the
which is
orange lightsaber that she does use in the novel. She does have the same hairstyle that she has in that novel. So they are pulling from that. Unless they're retconning her death to have it be now. And it's Palpatine that kills her. Because if anyone's Force lightning is going to kill anyone, it's going to be Palpatine.
It's true. It's true. It's
how do you know if Asajj is not a clone, though?
Oh, Jesus. I will be so upset if she is a clone. I am done with these goddamn motherfucking clones on this motherfucking plane.
Hey! Episode 53 of the Brick City Blockade is going to be Andrew on a plane.
Clones on a plane. Clones on a plane.
Clones on a plane. I love that. I mean, I think it's great that they want to wrap this up, right? And they left it on such a cliffhanger with the final, the last season that, as we move into the timeline, it's like any other Star Wars story that we've had told. You got to put a bookend to it, and you got to be able to explain how things come to a conclusion in a way that makes sense with the canon. We're going to go back and forth, especially on February 21st, as we move forward with how they implement Ventress into the story. And, expect some pretty heated episodes, I imagine, when we are introduced to Ventress in this final season.
And I'm sure I'm going to get over it by the time it airs.
Are you sure?
No,
I didn't think so. Shout out to Andrew not being sure, by the way.
Andrew's going to write a hateful message on Robin's.
No, I'm going to
email, not message, but email.
No, I'm going to write a letter.
BrickCityBlockade.com, BrickCityBlockade@gmail.com. Just an email is going to come through. Title.
Are you going to cut up magazines with letters and then write them a cryptid note?
Star Wars theory is better than Brick City Blockade.
Whoa! Bold statements.
Not true.
Yeah,
that's a straight up lie. He's a fool.
Oh, you held yourself back from a specific word right there.
Yeah.
Do you want to share that word?
I can't. I'll be good until we get to the other stuff that we're talking about.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. I mean, people are ready for that.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll warm up to it because I got over the way they changed Deppa's death because it worked for the Bad Batch. She still died during Order 66. Just it was more when it was at night and things were calm. And then shit hit the fan. That's the thing that I liked is not realizing when it was going to happen, especially when you're settling in for the night. She sent Kanan to bed, and then Order 66 happened. And she's like, "You got to run."
Here's your teddy bear. Be ready to run.
And also, Kanan was supposed to be 12, his balls dropped to the floor.
Whoa!
With how deep his voice was.
I mean, this is what happens when Freddie Prinze Jr. comes in and he has to, play a 12-year-old, right?
I mean, I guess, but
it's a little.
I hope
Are you saying it was just a little bit cringy, Andrew? Just a little bit.
Not so much cringy. It was just so he sounds like a full-grown adult, but he's a child.
So South Park.
Yes.
So it's very much that the meme that's going around is I told you to put more glitter, that kind of.
Yeah.
that same kind of whoa, hold on, switching it up here. Yeah, I mean, I think please.
Also, is there gonna be a time gap or a time jump?
Oh,
because in the trailer it says she's been waiting for a while. How long have they been making her wait? Is the question.
About the same amount of time that it takes to get your food at Sonic, I would imagine.
45 minutes.
Fuck, that's
2 hours.
That's at least 3 years.
I mean, Sean answered that pretty quickly. He was 45, no, 2 hours.
Just for shakes.
Just for shakes, man. Just for shakes. Sonic, listen. shout out to Sonic, but they really need to work on. Maybe they got to bring the roller skates back.
Nah, I don't want to see those people fall over and then I have to laugh at them.
Wow, that is. Are we looking at a changed Andrew Garish here?
No, not that changed.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure because you just said that if people don't,
it's not going to be roller skates. They're going to be on Heelys.
Oh, that's right. We're in the age of Heelys again. Yeah. I mean,
I never had a pair of Heelys.
Wouldn't that be great if somebody edited Anakin coming out of the and Mortis against Ahsoka on Heelys with his lightsaber?
Well,
wouldn't that just be?
It's interesting that you mentioned Anakin when we're talking about Sonic because there is a rumor.
Yeah. Let's briefly talk about that before we get into the last bit here. Yeah.
Well, they did a small teaser for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and there's a rumor because the main hedgehog villain this movie is Shadow the Hedgehog, which is the dark side version of Sonic. What better person to use for Shadow than Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen?
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, maybe
it's only rumors. It hasn't been confirmed yet.
Right, but maybe someday when we interview Hayden at either Fan Expo or one of these other, conventions that
see that smile.
Yeah, you see that smile over there, right?
She came at the perfect timing.
Please do not fire her up. Please do not. She's like a gremlin after midnight when you bring up Hayden Christensen. Okay, you do not.
I mean, he is a very beautiful Canadian.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Andrew for bringing up that he's Canadian. That's great. Nice job.
Great lingo. Great lingo.
I mean, I've noticed his accent a little bit more in Ahsoka. So
the Rebel Scum podcast crew really appreciates you mentioning Canada. It never gets enough attention.
Is Anakin Canadian now?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is Shadow going to have more of a Canadian accent than Anakin had?
Yes.
Was awfully quiet before you said it. It's not a stupid question. No, it's not a stupid question. It's not a stupid question, eh? That's
Hey, Sonic, eh?
Add that part to it.
So I was friends with Robin.
Now I'm his only friend.
So let's move into fan questions.
But before we move to that, I hope for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I hope it's the fat Dr. Robotnik this time.
Oh, yes.
They've been building to it.
They've totally been building to it.
Because he had hair in the first one. He was bald in the second one. He had the mustache. Now he needs to be fat.
Jim Carrey could do it again. He just needs to borrow the suit from the Grinch.
That's the thing. He said he wouldn't come back unless it was the fat Robotnik. So I think we're getting fat Robotnik.
I would love it. It's got to be Jim Carrey in the fat suit, right? Like that's that's the only way it's got to be. So for all your Sonic the Hedgehog questions, folks, please make sure to use @RealFandomTalk over on Twitter. We will definitely not have answers for you directly on that, but maybe Andrew will. Maybe.
Who
knows? Only Sonic questions.
Only Sonic questions, and we're talking about fast food and the animated.
The fast hedgehog.
The really fast hedgehog that Sonic should hire to
deliver food.
Deliver food out. Yeah.
Sonic Eats.
Sonic Eats. There we go. Sonic Eats. That's going to be our new push. So time for some fan questions. There'll be a little bit of a pause here because I'm going to insert the audio from our good friend Rural Farm Boy and his question. So Rural Farm Boy brought up in his question, in the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer, there's a fallen Venator class ship. And according to other podcasts and according to some other folks who have been commenting on these videos, there are 3 figures that walk out from the ship. And what they're saying is that, who could these people be? Some are saying that they might be familiar faces from the Star Wars universe that we're seeing that survived this crash. Andrew, if there is a crashed Venator here and 3 figures are coming out of it, and as Rural Farm Boy says, they've got to be something. who would you think that those figures would be?
It's gonna be what are their names? The two sisters.
Oh,
Nice
yes.
sisters.
No, the ones that everyone hates, including me.
Whoa, strong statements. The ones who helped Ahsoka, right?
Yeah, that were terrible.
Oh,
It's gotta be them plus
Excuse
one
me.
extra body. What
Okay.
it would be cool if it was maybe Boba Fett, maybe
Ooh.
Cad Bane, because we still
Cad Bane's in the
Cat-
trailer.
we did see Cad Bane, and I mean they're still scavenging stuff from the Vetner class Star Destroyers, or
Right.
whatever they were called in the Clone Wars. I still call them Star Destroyers.
Mm-hmm.
In the third one, maybe it could be Ventress because if they're going that route, she is a bounty hunter.
Right.
So,
Sean, who are you thinking? Who do you think?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. They were in the magic tree. Yes, no.
Bad Batch trailer.
They could be other clones.
Some roast
think.
beef, some chicken, and peas.
Maybe Commando Cody,
Rex?
Rex, Commando Cody.
Yeah, we
Nice.
haven't got anything really
Whoa.
Cody since season 2 with what they were doing there,
Yeah.
and him questioning his decision.
Wow.
And we haven't really seen Wolf yet.
No,
We
yeah.
haven't. This is very true. Do we get a sub story that has Wolf, Rex, and them?
Oh, but it's gonna be a filler episode.
Oh.
Tangent question is insert spoiler warning here.
Whoa, spoiler warning.
Actually dead or not?
Who?
Who?
Tech?
Oh, Tech.
Oh, huh.
That was
Okay.
because
He did fall pretty far.
but we didn't see a body. And they
Free falling.
Because it was probably like smashing a watermelon when the ship landed on it.
It's like a kid's show, but like they've shown us dead clones before. They can show us Tech's body.
True.
Wow.
Unless there was nobody to find.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't.
It's also getting into that territory where it's like, is anyone going to die in Star Wars now? Everyone can get stabbed and live.
That's true.
Okay, but is
True.
she actually living or is she like she's like full cyborg now?
Yes.
Does she eat?
This is all Darth Maul's fault, you know.
Yeah, Darth Maul started all this.
Not even that. Qui-Gon. He got stabbed. What, like 20 minutes later after he died, they developed the back to tank stuff?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but he didn't come back.
That's my point.
Maul did.
That's the first goes. He was like, "Look at the hell I had to come back as." I can't feel.
You know, I'm just
my
throwing it
leg.
out again. It's Maul again. It's Maul. It's gonna be Maul again.
All right, Star Wars theory.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Interesting.
Hey, we gotta wait.
Sorry.
We gotta wait.
Well,
Hold on.
actually, no. In this timeline, he would be what the fuck's his name?
I can't find the crap trailer.
It's very brief.
He would be Crimson Dawn at this point.
It would be Crimson Dawn, yes.
So they could maybe do something with that.
Is it here?
I was only joking.
Sorry,
So,
you son of a
so
bitch.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah. So,
What?
Roll Farm Boy, that's where we're at. I think in terms of
Reviewing footage.
reviewing footage, we're basically sending it back to New York to review because there's somebody threw the red flag on the play. Wanted it reviewed. I personally think it'd be really cool if it was Ventress coming out of there with Hondo Anaka. Like Hondo has been helping to transport across the galaxy because she's on a mission. So she runs into him, like kind of like that.
Or it's Dash Rendar.
Oh, Dash Rendar! Look at that.
And Kyle Katarn.
It was actually Palpatine.
Palpatine?
Palpatine and his 3 clones.
Really?
That sounds like a sitcom.
The Palpatrio. I love that. That is great. So before we move into our second round of topics here this evening, I just want to do a quick shout out to the New England Toy and Record Show coming up on March 23rd and 24th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. 2024. The New England Toy and Record Show. It's going to be super exciting. The Brick City Blockade Podcast will be there on Saturday, March 23rd, doing all the amazing coverage. They just announced recently John Dak Morton, Squishy Dak himself, and who was also in the Boba Fett
Get
armor.
ready to suck some Dak.
In Empire Strikes Back is going to be at the New England Toy and Record Show as well. So we're really excited. So a 1-day pass, if you want to go, for folks who are listening, is $12. Sundays $5. Weekend pass is $15 for Saturday and Sunday. But you're going to meet a bunch of Star Wars guests. You're going to meet folks from other films, other parts of pop culture.
You could meet us. You could meet us.
You
don't have to.
A chance.
Hey, you
don't have to. You don't have to meet us, but
Only if you like us.
That's right.
We only want you to meet us if you like us.
It's happening at the Elks Lodge, 184 Durham Road, Dover, New Hampshire. You can RSVP, of course, over on Facebook. Get your tickets over on Eventbrite. It's being shared across the Brick City Blockade platform. And we're super excited to see you there alongside so many other special guests. So again, March 23rd and 24th, New England Toy and Record Show 2024. We can't wait to see you there.
I thought of a better name for Palpatine and all of his clones.
Okay, before we get into second topics, let's listen to this.
I'm sorry, guys. It was right there the whole time. Palpatine.
Palpatine?
Palpatine.
Palpatine?
Palpatine.
Shout out to Shaelyn for coming up with a really clever name right there. Yeah, nice job, Shaelyn.
That is a Robin level joke. That is great.
What?
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
It rubs off him. So
Whoa. What rubs off?
Amazing.
No, I was like this when he found me.
oh, okay.
What does that supposed to mean?
It means you picked the right one.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I was a little worried because Sean said rubbing off, and I was like, what is this heading here?
Yeah, phrasing.
I did not make it weird. Sean Michaud made it weird.
I did not.
Oh, look at these bold claims. Anyway, second round of topics here for you folks catching us
Gina
here.
Carano's dumbass.
So things are going to get a little bit heated here, as Andrew knows.
Twisty and turny.
Yeah, a little bit. A little twisty and turny here. We're pretty fired up right now because it was released in...
I'd say I'm lukewarm. I'm over it now.
Are you blue lukewarm?
Yes.
So it came out that Elon Musk is being a dink again, and he is helping actress Gina Carano.
When is he ever a dink?
I know. He's helping...
Robin, hold on.
Okay.
Actress.
Okay. I need to...
You're using the term actress very kindly, Gina Carano.
Elon Musk is helping out right-wing extremist Gina Carano in her pursuit of suing Lucasfilm and Disney, not just for contractual, the removal of her contract from Lucasfilm and Disney, but now she's claiming other things. And I don't know if either one of you had the chance to read her statements or what she wrote. I had to put it down after a couple of minutes because I was just
didn't
so
even
pissed
bother
off.
reading it because I knew I was going to get mad.
Yeah.
I just saw her trending. I'm like, no, this is not good. I'm not reading it.
I would assume she's playing the victim route.
Yep.
And
Like always.
Oh, I didn't say anything that bad. You compared getting the vaccine to the Holocaust.
Right.
And Disney told you 3 times, watch what you post on social media because Disney is a public traded company. They have to keep investors and everything. And if you're making them look bad, they're going to give you the boot. Even then, your stuff was done with Mandalorian season 2. You weren't that interesting of a character. No. I didn't miss you in season 3.
I didn't even miss her in season 1. So
yeah, like
that's right. Pedro has a job, and you don't.
Yeah,
well, yes, exactly.
Solid B tier with 0 character development.
I think that's even being kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
C tier.
F tier.
Z tier. Z tier.
It's even below that.
Z.
So, well, I'm just saying, like, in terms of like primary, secondary, tertiary characters.
Yeah.
Right.
Have we talked about freedom of speech and shit?
Yeah. So I was.
Can I do it?
Yeah, you go ahead, Shaelyn, because I'm going to get too fired up. A microphone's going to fly and my hat's going to go somewhere else. Probably,
because I have the same opinion as you.
Okay.
So I think 2 things. First thing, I think anybody has the right to say, their thoughts and opinions on a certain subject.
1000%.
Yeah.
That is their right. That is their ability to do so in the United States.
That is literally the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
As long as it is not actively hurting somebody, like encouraging somebody to, hurt themselves. That's not allowed. That is well within your rights. It is also well within your employer's right to terminate you for things that you say and do.
Yeah.
And especially even outside of the clock. So let's say you said something stupid outside of your 9-to-5 job. They're not going to fire you for that. Okay. Because that's, the stakes are different. When you're portraying somebody in a multi-million or billion-dollar franchise. I'm talking Lucasfilm, not Disney, but billion.
I thought it was Twitter.
That's a billion, yes.
Then you are portraying a character in a massively successful and popular franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an understatement. And you are, in this particular circumstance, a role model for women and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't see, and I'm going to say this, we didn't see a lot of women with her body type kicking ass on screen, and it was really nice to see that. And so it was also really disappointing to see the things that she said off camera. And so I think that Disney and Lucasfilm were well within their rights to say, you're allowed to say this, but saying these things and existing in this franchise do not coexist.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to either put your opinions to the side and focus on this, or you're not working with us anymore. I don't even know if that was an option given because she didn't think before she posted. And I think that's a thing that happens a lot lately, that people just don't think of the consequences before they post. And when you have such a huge platform, and again, like huge freaking platform, role model status, you have to be very careful about what you're posting.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say.
She brought a lot of legal terminology, and she brought a lot of stuff that also Lucasfilm and Disney.
The last thing I'll say on it is that Elon Musk needs to take his fingers out of everybody else's business.
I was going to say out of everybody else's asshole. But, it's...
Maybe he's into girls that shit on his bed. I don't know.
Well... It's, she releases this statement and is like, my contract this, my contract that. What Shaelyn said was perfect. It's right on the money. You have freedom of speech. You have every right to go, above and beyond and really express yourself to a certain point in your eyes of your employer. And it was interesting. I put out a tweet last night. A lot of people were talking about contractual law and does she really have anything to stand on here? And where I can't wait to see when if this court case even makes it.
It's not going to get anywhere.
I would love to see her contract and to see where she broke like 20 different clauses within it.
Yeah, I was going to say Disney's going to, if they do, Disney's going to come with the contracts, and that's where she's going to lose.
Yeah.
So I've also seen people making the comparison with Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit with Disney.
This
totally is a completely
two different things.
Because her contract, Scarlett Johansson's contract said that her film is going straight to theaters, not theaters and streaming, because that messed with her pay.
Correct.
Yes.
This is completely different. And also, Scarlett Johansson and Disney are already fix their issues.
Yeah.
They did.
There's no fixing this issue.
No.
Because, yes, like Shaelyn said, freedom of speech. But when you are portraying a character that is supposed to be this good person that stands up for the right thing, maybe what she believes in is the right thing, but your words have consequences. That'd be like me, because I have to be careful what I say sometimes with my YouTube channel, because I am in kind of a higher thing with my subscriber count. I have to be careful with what I say and what I do on my YouTube channel, because then that can affect me or my community. And I prefer my community to be a safe space for people.
Yeah.
And what?
I'm ignoring what just happened right there.
What happened?
I cracked my back really loud.
She broke her back live on the Brick City Blockade.
Oh, Renee does that all the time. So.
Are you kidding me? I'm not alone in this?
No. But not only that, she like cracks her elbows or wrists, and I mean, I crack my knuckles, but that's about it.
Yeah,
the thumbs really get him.
I cracked my neck. I shouldn't.
Everybody just heard that on the podcast. Oh,
trigger warning.
Trigger warning. It's too late. You just did it.
But I don't think this is going to get to court. But if it does, it's going to be exactly like the Johnny Depp trial. It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because one, Elon Musk is one to leave you high and dry.
True.
Which is why his last name is Musk. He's a Musk.
Who he is.
Fucker.
Yeah.
And
he's not going to be able to do court if he can't even run Twitter.
No. He can't even name his kids right. He named his kid like XYZ or something like that.
And he's very freaking transphobic too. So
it's mind-boggling, and I totally agree about the Scarlett Johansson situation. One was very strictly a contract issue that had to be solved because there were financial implications, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Gina, it's a contract issue with no merit, no base to it. And it's not like she's not even seeking damages or compensation. She just wants to walk out of a court and say, I was right, I was right, I was right. And please her far-right media friends, like Mr. Ben Shapiro over there.
And Mr. Star Wars Theory.
No, Mr. Rapper Ben Shapiro.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Wait, he's a rapper now? I have been so far out of the loop with all this shit with him. So
the only thing I saw because he was competing with fucking Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion's thing on iTunes or whatever, and it was it was weird.
That is weird. That's super weird.
Fucking what's his name? Tom McDonald.
Super rapper. But you're right about we have historical context on calling out Star Wars Theory on our channel. And I have no problem.
I was the first one to start calling.
Yeah, you were. And I super appreciate it because he continually pushes forth this, I come up with these ideas and I'm the one pushing the fandom forward and I'm doing all this. But then at the same time, you're also curtailing yourself to the worst ends of the fandom, to the worst parts of the fandom, and you're firing up people. Now, you could say that we're also firing up people here too, but I think we're firing up people in the right way to say, hey, when things are clear and things are just and things are by the law, you follow the law. You follow it by what it says. Right? And there's this whole wing, I'm going to be honest, of the Star Wars fandom too that does exist that goes along with it and says, yeah, you know what? I'm going to follow down a path like a former president of ours. I'll say it. And it's dangerous.
Who wanted to be king.
And it's dangerous and there's no place for that.
Nope.
There is absolutely no room for that. This is Star Wars. This is fandom. These are the franchises, no matter whether it's Star Wars or any other franchise. These are the things that we love. The fact that there are folks on a very specific side here that are not even willing to negotiate or have conversations with us about
Yeah.
how we can find common ground, right? Star Wars Theory himself has had multiple opportunities to really kind of reach over to the other side and say, hey, you know what? We don't agree on this. We
But
don't
let's
agree on this.
talk about it.
But let's talk about it.
But
Honestly,
he doesn't want to do that because his agenda is to cause rifts. Because he's a
Right.
grifter in the community. He is the one that started a whole bunch of it, especially with The Last Jedi coming out.
Yeah.
Or after The Last Jedi coming out. And don't, like, yeah, I have my issue with the sequel trilogy. It is what it is. But it's not my be-all, end-all.
No.
Oh,
The
no.
Last Jedi came out 7 years ago. At least 7 years ago, I think.
Yeah, we're pushing
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Oh, you
And
moved on.
I've
Honestly,
moved on.
Yeah.
It wasn't, the trilogy wasn't for me. It was for the new generation,
Exactly.
which Star Wars is meant to be. Again, this is coming from George Lucas. It's supposed to, 1, be hopeful, 2, for children.
Yeah.
It can have adult themes because it does grow up with the kids, but it always has to be for kids.
Yeah. And the fact that there are folks interjecting themselves into places where it's not necessary, right? And I think
Mhm.
we also come from the mindset here, you know, when Sean and I started Brick City Blockade, it was that honesty of, you know what, we're going to tell it
Yeah.
like it is. There are a lot of people who don't want to do that. And I totally get it. You don't want to get yourself mixed into things, right? You don't want to, you just want to focus on what's
I
good
felt
and
like
what's
I
happening.
felt like we had to though.
But we had to because
Mhm.
it exists and you do have to call it out when it's there. There's lessons to be learned from it. And I think with the Gina Carano and this whole lawsuit situation, number one, a court's not going to want to touch it. And number two, it's just a ploy to divide more people. That's all it is at the end of the day. I haven't been in the headlines recently, so how can I do that? How can I get back in the headlines again? And it's so frustrating. And I Sean, I don't know how you feel about it. I know Andrew and I just shared our thoughts alongside Shaelyn, but this is the kind of shit that pulls at us, and we're like, "Are you kidding me?"
No, I'm the exact same way. I usually just stay away from it because I don't want. I hate. First of all, I hate talking about it just because it's stupid to talk about because I don't. Because I don't
It's
agree
giving
with.
them the limelight that they want.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't agree with them. So like, okay, I don't really care. So it's like it's okay to have conversations and talk about it, but like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
And I saw a couple of people being like, "Oh, this is almost like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation." That's a completely different situation.
So
And
different.
one, Johnny Depp waited his time. He built all of his evidence, and he waited to bring it to an actual court where he won. And it's not Gina's not going to get to. It's not going to get to court because one, Disney has, I would assume, more lawyers than maybe the Musk boy.
Right.
Who's Gina's witnesses going to be? Herself?
Who's
as
she gonna
Star
get?
Wars 3?
Ben Shapiro. Ben
Is she gonna call him in
Shapiro.
with his Route 66 hat into court? Like what? Come on.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have any hair, so
Oh, this is.
he has a vagina chin, so.
Oh, jeez.
Dude,
Oh, so I'm hearing bagpipes. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear bagpipes. Are there bagpipes?
Upstairs, yeah, I hear bagpipes. I think they're watching a movie.
What a series of events recently here. My
Are they
goodness.
watching Braveheart?
Probably
Yeah.
like, freedom. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that or Roddy
Oh.
Piper's at your house.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper. Yeah, he could be.
Dr. Murphy's, is that you?
So we'll see what happens here between. I to be honest with you, this is probably the only time we'll really talk about it because the next time we see a headline around it, it's going to be no court took up the case. It's over with. We're just moving on from here. So.
But while we're angry, I do want to add something real quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
I did share something in the group chat like about a week ago,
Yeah.
Something that
Did they?
Warner Brothers is going to be working on. They are contemplating and probably working on remaking the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
No.
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 I did
No.
hear about that, but no.
Don't do it. Look at how bad. I shouldn't say this out loud.
No,
Well,
please.
Say it.
Say it.
My initial instinct was to say, look at how badly they biffed The Hobbit. But, because, like, let's be honest, The Hobbit, it wasn't poorly done, but it was not nearly as epic and satisfying as Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Or Rings of Power.
Oh my
Rings of
god, I
Power.
didn't
Oh,
watch
God.
it. I didn't even watch it.
I got to episode 4. There was 8 episodes. I got halfway through.
I told Shaelyn that you got to have it. You're just like, okay.
But
enough.
like, what do they? One, I wouldn't
What are you
want
gonna
to
move
recast
on?
that.
The
No.
director's editions of the Lord of the Rings trilogy are perfect.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, who do you recast? How do you cast these
People asking
characters?
for this too? It's
Warner
the same
Brothers.
thing with the, no, I know, but like the fans aren't asking for it.
No,
There's
the
no
trilogy
demand
is
for
already
it.
perfect.
There's no
I
demand.
don't say that about any trilogy.
And
No.
like it's the same thing as like talking about recasting and redoing the Harry Potter series as
Oh, by the way, they are redoing the Harry Potter series too.
yeah, they are. I heard that, and it's like why?
But
Can-
the way
no one-
they're
can no-
doing
can
that
no
with
company
Harry Potter
Make any new original ideas anymore?
is
Yes,
making it
apparently.
a series from what I heard, and each season is going to be a different book.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a series,
Yeah. I don't know.
but not a different book. It's supposed to be like the regular Harry Potter books, just in series format instead of movie.
Also, aren't they redoing the Lion Witch and the Wardrobe with Greta Gerwig too? So,
Oh, I think so. Yes, I did see that.
I'm just tired of all these remakes, but my coworker brought it up to me. It's like there's been 100 years of movies. What else can they do with what new stories can they do besides remake all the stuff that we like? Just make us more depressed. That is bad.
Yeah.
The one trilogy I'm glad
There
that they
are new stories to tell.
yeah,
You don't have to keep remaking like new novels and new series come out every day.
yeah.
There's new content. It exists.
Yeah, but you know what they're telling their investors? They're saying, "Hey, by the way, there's money to be made here.
Mm-hmm.
There's money to be made here. So why don't we go get it?" Like,
I just hope
that's the
Robert
whole thing.
Zemeckis lives forever because as long as he's alive, they're not going to be able to remake the Back to the Future trilogy.
Wow.
So hopefully he lives forever.
That's
Or he puts it in his will that they can't touch Back to the Future or any of his movies.
yeah.
Because apparently they wanted to do a prequel of Forrest Gump. It's like, what's the point of that?
What?
What are you going to call it, Forrest?
It's literally,
Right.
it literally starts with his birth.
I know.
What is there to prequel?
The conception of Forrest.
Yes.
That's what, that's what it's called. Gump. Sorry, I know.
Gump by Pixar.
Gump by Pixar.
Uh,
The contraception of Forrest
The
Gump.
contraception.
The contraception of Forrest Gump. Gorst Pump. That's
Gorst
what-
Pump.
yeah, the Lord of the Rings remake is going to be terrible. And one, I wouldn't want to be the cast to fill the shoes of the original trilogy.
Oh,
Like, who would you get to play Saruman? Like, no one's going to replace Christopher Lee
yeah, I was gonna say Christopher Lee. No, no.
or even Gandalf. Any of them.
Yeah.
You could maybe recast Elijah Wood as Bilbo because that's what
Just
they
bring
did.
Elijah
with-
Wood back at that point. He still
Yeah.
can do it.
Bring back the original cast for that. Yeah, I mean, it would feel a little bit Ghostbustery if they did that, though.
Well, Ghostbusters Afterlife did it right. Ghostbusters 2016 did not
That's true. That is true.
because nobody asked for an all-female Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, but we liked it.
I didn't watch it, so I can't make a comment.
For folks on the audio version, Andrew just gave very.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Shaelyn had fun.
I had fun.
As long as you had fun with it, I will accept it.
Yeah, it was good, and I was to be fair, like I wasn't a fan of the original Ghostbusters in that I never had seen them before. Like I'm not saying that I watched them and I didn't like them. I'm saying that I just wasn't exposed to them growing up. They weren't part of my lexicon. So watching the all-female version of Ghostbusters with comedians that I really enjoy, female comedians that I really enjoy. I understand that it was a cash grab. I understand that it was woke. Whatever. I thought it was fun, and it got me into the series. For the first time. So when you do stuff like that, it's a little bit different than just rehashing the exact same thing all over again.
I can see Andrew over there. It's like, okay.
Did you like Barbie?
I haven't seen Barbie yet.
Okay.
Wow.
Barbie.
I mean, I'm looking at a Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Robin, but
I'm just
right.
Robin's the only Barbie girl I need to look at.
Hey, I'm just Ken.
Oh, okay. She's got checker pudding. Okay. That's got to check on that pudding. Shout out to Shaelyn's pudding, by the way. Shout out. It's cooking over there.
Nice euphemism.
I know, right? All right. So before Sean and Shaelyn get into their part where Andrew and I take a back seat, we check our phones, we see what's going on, and they talk a little Taylor Swift. Bold predictions for 2024, whether it's in film or in Star Wars itself. What are some things that you think we're going to get that we're going to be like, whoa, didn't see that coming. That wasn't on my bingo card here in 2024. Andrew, I'll have you start.
Deadpool and Joker are going to be the #1 movies of the year.
Whoa, Deadpool and Joker, #1.
Yeah, because Joker's
coming out this year?
The second Joker comes out this year.
Wow.
I'm not going to see it.
I think in October.
What was that, Sean?
I probably won't see it in theaters, but I don't even want the second sequel of Joker. So
I mean, I didn't want one either, but I'm curious on what they do with the musical aspect of it.
I didn't think they needed to do musical. As my take.
I mean, with how weird
it just didn't need it for sequel.
I mean, it didn't need a sequel.
It would have been better
anyway.
if it was just standalone Joker film.
I 1000% agree. I am still.
I just don't think a musical would be like. I don't like when they change the thing. Like musicals from a second, it's dumb.
Cool.
So what they did with Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Factory.
Willy Wonka was originally a musical, and then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory made him Michael Jackson.
Right? Yeah. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was not a musical, but Willy Wonka was.
Yes. And then Wonka kind of made it a bit of both. From
Not
what
a
I
cash grab,
understand.
but okay.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking forward to Chocolate in the Charlie Factory, but that's okay.
That's weird.
I mean, so based on this conversation right here, I'm going to roll a dice for folks at home. Who's correct?
That's not a D20.
No, I actually have a D20 right here.
I know. I gifted it to you.
I didn't make it my prediction yet. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, whoa. I got to solve this first, okay? So I got the D20 here, okay, right here. Yep. So
wait, whoa. Man, go ahead.
So Andrew, call a number.
I guess 10, 11.
Okay, Sean.
I was gonna say 8.
Okay, so 11, Andrew. 10.
Yeah.
11. Okay.
What?
And okay, so here we go. I'm gonna roll it.
This is gonna be 4.
Landed on. That would be 11.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It landed on 11. Right
it's
there.
A 1.
Well, yeah, Bob, there's a 1 in 11. Like.
Why?
So Andrew, his perspective is correct. We rolled for who
that Deadpool and Joker 2 are going to be #1 movies of the year.
Of the year, yeah.
Probably.
Okay. There we go.
Did I disagree on this?
23.
I don't remember
Deadpool 3
disagreeing.
alone is going to make $1 billion just because Wolverine is in it.
Wait,
Sean,
did I
I'm
just-
confused here. He's like, I haven't even said my part yet.
Wait, did I even disagree on this? What did I disagree on?
What I missed. So, Sean, what are your predictions? And then we will roll yet again. Because it's fun.
Fine, the #1 movie.
Or just what you think.
Like, what's your hot take? Yeah,
Yep.
bold prediction. Bold prediction of 2024 in film, Star Wars, whatever it is.
Chiefs are lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a good bold prediction. Okay.
No, that's actually good because my dad used to keep Super Bowls on DVD. Like he would actually go out and buy the
Oh.
Super Bowl on DVD. So that's not a bad prediction that the Super Bowl will be. I know it was a joke. I know you meant it as a joke, but
Yeah,
I don't know if he was. I think
I
Sean
mean,
was serious.
half joking because I do want the 49ers to win. So
Okay. What, do you got another one, Sean, or just that?
why do you want the 49ers to win?
We'll hold that.
Why?
Because your family's from California.
Thank you. I'm a California guy.
I am an anti-California girl.
Ooh. Sean, did you have another? Did you have another one before Shaelyn and you hop on to some Taylor Swift talk quickly?
No, I was just thinking what movies were coming out this year. I don't even know.
I mean, I think Deadpool's definitely going to be.
Probably.
You got Twister 2 that nobody asked for.
Oh, that's true. And we got that whole Sharks on a Plane movie coming as well.
Wait, well, I wouldn't put that past them actually doing that. We also got Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey too.
Oh, yeah. We probably have a Steamboat Willie horror movie coming out as well. Probably. So bold prediction that hits the horror charts pretty high, maybe.
Yeah.
Dune 2.
Thumbs up on that.
Dune 2 will probably be really good this year.
Oh yeah.
That's very controversial though.
I think it.
Well, the popcorn bucket is controversial.
Did anybody grab a popcorn bucket? Hashtag bucket me up.
You can't get popcorn out of it. Looks like a vagina, and it's weird.
What?
Okay.
What?
Look, I'm going back to my high school days of seeing the movie.
No, your wife should be very mad right now. How would you say such a thing?
Have you seen the movie Teeth?
No,
it's terrifying.
About it, but thankfully I have not seen it. I count my lucky stars every day.
Watch along of Teeth.
No.
Shout out.
It's a bad popcorn bucket.
I will agree with you on that. Nothing else.
We all know Taylor Swift had the best popcorn buckets.
Speaking of that, you notice how I just transitioned that? Let's get out of this conversation.
That's why I said that.
I'm going to hop over onto my phone briefly as Shaelyn and Sean get into free.
No, Ron will join a little bit.
I will join in a little bit, but I'm going to switch spots. I'm talking like Joe Biden a little bit over here. I'm going to shit spots.
You're gonna spit
I was about to say you're as old as Joe Biden, but
whoa.
He's got a couple more years.
Yeah, at least 2 more years.
If Joe Biden was his age, I mean, I don't want you to be 80.
Shout out to not being 80, by the way.
80,000.
Ow! Boob slap for all you listeners at home.
It jiggled like Jello.
Hey, whoa!
Anywho,
Shaelyn, come on over here. Take a seat with Sean. You know, you guys had a whole bunch of Taylor Swift stuff just come out.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
oh my god.
I'm scared. So
Let's set the scene where we were.
Grammys.
The Grammys on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching, saw Taylor Swift got up. She won Best Pop Vocal, and then out of nowhere, she announced her new.
Well, it was her 13th Grammy ever.
13 Grammy.
So that's important too.
What was kind of weird was why she's announced it in the middle of it, anyways. But she announced that her 11th studio album, Dead Poets Department, not Dead Poet.
No, the Tortured Poets Department. Tortured Poets.
Jesus,
not
Jesus
Dead
Christ.
Poets, Tortured Poets.
See, after I sent you that meme, now it got all mixed up.
It is not Dead Poets Society. It is the Tortured Poets Department.
Jesus Christ.
And she's been working on it for 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. So
that cover though is so amazing though.
It is. It's beautiful. It's giving me very like COVID quarantine lockdown vibes, if that makes sense. And I think for the content that the album is going to cover, that makes a lot of sense. Like it's giving like Folklore and Evermore were, you know, when people like during the pandemic where people like just take walks outside just to leave the house. Tortured Poets is giving very much the other side of that spectrum of just locking yourself inside for months on end. And if this album is going where I think it's going, I think that that's pretty accurate. I think it's going to be kind of a soul sister almost to Folklore Evermore, just based on the branding and the aesthetic of it. I think it's going to be like Folklore Evermore meets 1989 meets Midnights. I'm seeing like she played Dear Reader last night in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And that song I think is very kind of I don't know. That might be kind of almost an Easter egg onto like what to expect from Tortured Poets. But when the track list came out,
the track list.
I ran screaming. Robin was resetting the kitchen. He was doing the dishes, and I was in the bedroom. And you texted me, and I ran screaming out of the bedroom, and I said, "Oh my God!" And he said, "What happened? Is everybody okay?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No,
no one's okay."
No, Post Malone is doing a song with Taylor Swift." And he said, "What?" Post Malone is on the first track.
Absolutely freaked out.
I had to tell him 3 times.
I mean, I love Post, but the one that freaked me out the most, seeing Florence and the Machine, one of my favorite bands.
I'm really excited about that. But Robin has been waiting for a Taylor Swift Post Malone collab.
And now it makes sense because I did see last year that I think she recorded that song last year because I saw her with Florence like last year. They were like leaving the studio or whatever.
Yeah.
Not together, but different times.
The re-recordings are really good cover for new albums, because when in the past, when she would be spotted at recording studios and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, she's working on her next album." Now, when she's spotted coming out of recording studios, it's like, "Oh, she's working on a re-record."
Yeah.
But she wasn't.
No.
But she wasn't.
It was a 2-year gap, though.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
When was Midnight's originally released?
October of 22, right? Or
No.
November?
I think it might have been. Yeah, maybe. Hang on. I got it. I need my facts straight.
No, I got it. October 21st, 2022.
Okay, so this is coming just shy of 2 years after that. And I know that Midnight still seems super new, but I think she's getting back into that swing of that every 2 years that she had for the longest. What?
Hi, how are you?
What did you do?
What is going on?
He did something. I don't know what. Did he gas me out of here? I don't know. Did you toot?
I did not toot.
Oh, okay. He said he didn't toot.
He
We'll
pooped.
find out soon. Anyway, no, when she was first releasing albums, it was very consistent every 2 years album release.
Yeah.
And then 1989 was released, and then she went on hiatus until Reputation was released. And then
I love what she said at the
and then
Tokyo.
2 years, and then 2 years later, Lover was released, and then the pandemic happened. So it was like her confinement for social reasons, and then confinement for pandemic reasons. And she did Folklore Evermore in there. I'm not really going to count those in that every 2 years kind of workflow that she's worked up for herself, but it worked for her for like a decade to do that every 2 years kind of production.
I mean, being in lockdown, she wrote in so many songs. I love what she said last night in Tokyo. I love just doing this for fun. This is what I do. Of her, she was saying that she loves just making songs. That's what she does.
And we love,
and she's not getting tired of it. Apparently.
And we love it too. And so it's just a really great kind of relationship that she has with her fans. I will say that some aspects of the fandom do freak me out.
Oh, a lot of them do. Yeah. Like,
she is a person. She is an artist, but she is a person first, and she's entitled to her privacy. And so when when we speak privately to each other, just off camera, then I'm going to talk about drama and social stuff. But
that's what happens.
Because like it's fun, but like I'm not going to post about that because she doesn't deserve for that to be posted about. She doesn't deserve for that stuff to be talked about.
Yeah, like we're not gonna go around and say about this in a podcast. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like you.
It's about the
Like
music, it's about the performance, and the fact that people were so desperately. The only thing I will mention, the fact that people are so desperately feel such a way about where she makes her appearances and when she makes her appearances, that the fact that she may or may not be at the Super Bowl was like international news. It's frankly, it's alarming. As a woman, that is alarming. I would feel very uncomfortable if anybody was keeping tabs on me that way. And I mean, she's grown up this way. Like, she started doing this when she was 16, 17. So, and now she's like as big as anyone's gotten, combined with the fact that we are in that technology age where anybody can snap a picture with their phone and the news travels instantly, not to mention AI.
I mean, we heard about the AI stuff that happened recently, but I don't want to get into that. But
no, but it's just, I'm like, so my plea to the fans of Taylor Swift, if you like her music, if you like her as a person, like, she's a person. Give her some space. Appreciate the music. Love the music.
Talk about
love
music.
Her art.
Talk about
the music.
Her art.
Talk about her performances. She's gonna be producing a movie soon. I'm really excited to see what happens with that. I don't know when that's gonna happen, and she's doing all of her own music videos, so she's leaning more into the directorial. So she's a storyteller through and through, and I think that's really one of the most compelling things about her. But yeah, I'm always a little bit cagey about her safety, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she's fine.
She knows
that, but the Swifties really, some of the Swifties really freak me out. It's like, dude, you need to take a big healthy step back.
I mean, it's not just the Swifties, it's everyone. Like,
the dads, Brads, and Chads too. Yeah,
all the football fans and all that, and all the people that are saying, like, why she is like, can't she be there? She's just being supportive or just having fun. Like, who cares?
Yeah. So
let her live her life.
That's the downside. I think that's the downside of being a fan of her music, because I'm a fan of her music because of her storytelling. Definitely.
I mean,
her storytelling, her prose, which is why I'm really excited about Tortured Poets, because poetry is like the base of all of her songs, and she's really leaned into that. And I think that's pretty rare for an artist. And you see a couple of them on the charts today, but especially in the last 10 years, I've noticed a lot of songs where you'll have a hook and a chorus and maybe a verse, and then it's just the chorus repeated like 7 times to fill out 2.5 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I'm just hoping that we get more longer songs.
Yeah.
Like, I hate like those 1.5 minute, 2 minute songs. So really, I mean, that's of course because it's for radio.
I think we're gonna. You know what? I think you're.
But I think this album is gonna have really long songs.
Really long songs. Your wish is gonna be granted.
I think it's because like it's like I think I said this to you before on Sunday. It's got the Lana Del Rey vibe of because her songs can go pretty long, 4 or 5 minutes, sometimes 6, 7.
Yeah.
But I heard it's dreamy synth pop. I don't know if this is true or not.
I think it's, I mean, because it's got to be listed under record sellers as a genre. So that, I think
that could mean anything though. So
yeah, and so maybe like
I think they said that the same thing,
like Labyrinth off of Midnight's vibes, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe more like Snow on the Beach type.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you doing?
Just showing Thrawn to everybody.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. April 19th.
Yeah.
Yes, April 19th.
Yeah.
And
you want to know an Easter egg about April 19th?
Yes.
April 19th is the day that the colonies separated from Great Britain.
Oh. Nice.
So there's some symbolism there, certainly.
Yeah.
So long, London.
Yeah. Sip the tea.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Because you're the Civil War history. No, you're the Revolutionary War history nerd.
Yes, that's when they officially declared.
Yeah.
And then they had to ratify the Constitution.
Yeah.
The Declaration of Independence and everything. But that was the official date that they sent the letter to King George saying, we're cutting ties with y'all.
Are we gonna have what's his name? come back to voice in the London boy. Remember, what's his name? The actor.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Idris Elba.
Yeah, is he gonna come back?
You can go riding on my scooter? I don't think so. No. I think it's a track 5.
No, I know.
It's a track 5. It's a track 5, so it's going to be devastating. She puts all of her saddest songs on track 5.
You're right.
Yeah. It's not going to be fun.
Well, Eras Tour is coming to Disney Plus.
It's going to be fun, but it's not going to be like a. Yeah.
Well,
I wonder if she's going to. I feel like she kind of has to, but I wonder if she's going to release any leading singles. And I wonder what they're going to be. I guess she kind of broke the mold with Antihero, where she was like, she picked the song that she liked the most rather than the song that she thought would do the best.
And well, then we had Cruel Summer that just ran for the fans. Actually
but I mean, like, before she releases an album, she releases a couple of songs, right? So, and maybe a music video to go with it. Like, I think Bejeweled came out before Midnight's, right? No, maybe. Which one?
Yeah, I mean, like
Antihero came out before.
We'll definitely get music videos. We haven't got any music videos for the 1989 release Taylor version.
Yeah, I think the only reason we got one for Speak Now.
Did we get 2? Or did we just get 1?
One. I think we just got 1 for Speak Now.
It was Speak Now.
It was I Can See You.
Oh, for
Remember
the new
when
song.
she's like breaking out of the prison and breaking out of the museum or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was I guess an exception to the rule, because that's the only sort of. She did the short film for All Too Well. So I'm not really sure if that counts as a
No, I would account. I would count that.
It counts. But so for the re-records, the only music videos that she's done then are I Can See You and All Too Well.
Language.
I mean,
we were rated for language.
We absolutely are. I just like to mention that it's being used.
Yeah, I say words like that because
the last one was I Could See You. I'm just looking at her.
And then she did 3 off of Midnight. She did Antihero, Bejeweled, and Lavender Haze.
I really wish Emma Falls in Love had a music video. I wish that did.
Fun. There's a lot of them that I wish had. Message in a Bottle should have had a music video. I like Message in a Bottle. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she chooses as a single. What the direction of like the kind of the brand that we've seen for this album is going forward, because we've only really seen album covers.
Antihero was the first single from Midnight.
Yeah. I did get that right. Thank you for fact checking. Yeah, I'm excited to see what merch looks like. I have a feeling when she drops like clothing merch and stuff for this, I have a feeling I'm really gonna like it, because it's got that kind of minimalist, like beigey black and white cream situation going on, and I love that. Like, it's a really good look, and I think I like it when my merch doesn't like scream at you that it's like Swiftie merch.
I honestly think
kind of like no to know. So,
you think the Fortnite song with Post Malone is going to be her first single?
Maybe, but I don't think she. No,
that'd be a really good. That'd be a really great single too.
It could be. It could be a really good single, but I don't think that she's going to. I mean, maybe, but I don't think she's going to release the song. Well, has 2 features on the whole album, so I don't think she's going to.
You know what? I think it's going to be the Torches Poets Department.
Yeah, song. Probably the self-titled. That's the title track.
That's probably the most reasonable thing that is going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Or she could surprise us completely. You know.
That's what Taylor Swift does.
Yeah. I mean, because we were expecting Rep. So.
Yeah, we were. We got put our clown hats on and nose on.
I am dying for the Rep Vault tracks, and I like Torture Pro Society is going to be beautiful and epic, and we're going to have a listen party, and it's going to be like
definitely
with wine and snacks and stuff.
With our vinyls too.
Plenty of wine.
On the vinyl.
Well, no, because we won't get the vinyls until a couple.
No, we will do it again after.
When we get the vinyls. But. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I I'm excited about Tortured Poets, but I'm a little bummed about Reputation.
She's a little bummed out.
I'm a little bummed about Reputation
She's a little
because
bummed out.
that's one of my favorite albums. My big Swiftie moments were when Red first came out. I was a rising freshman into high school, so that was
I mean,
right.
Red was also when I got back into.
Yeah.
When I actually got
Red
Red
original version was when I mean, like, I followed her through Fearless and Speak Now a little, but I was a big fan for Red. I missed 1989 fandom. I mean, I like the songs. I like the songs, but they're not really my style. And then when Rep came out, I was like all in Die Hard Rep. So like, I think Red and Reputation have really special places in my heart, because they're like really the two kind of key points of touchstones of my experience with the fandom. I actually remember I was 14 and I was listening to the song 15 on repeat because I was entering high school for the first time. And it was right when Red was getting released, and I went to the makeup store and I was like, I need a red lipstick. And so that was like, yeah, that was important for me. But yeah, so I'm still waiting patiently for Reputation, but I am grateful.
It's gonna come.
Yeah, but
we have a year. Yeah. I think honestly, I think she's gonna end off the tour with releasing her debut album.
Maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see.
But we do have the Eras tour film coming on Disney Plus in March.
Yeah. With new songs, not new songs.
No, it's Cardigan and
a couple new songs that they haven't told us which ones they are, but I'm assuming they're from the live sets.
Do you think Taylor's gonna play any of the new songs from her new album on tour
after it comes out? Yeah. I don't think she's going to meaningfully change the set list to include this new album, but I don't know. Maybe she might. But she's definitely going to feature it pretty heavily in her acoustic set.
Yeah.
I think after it's released.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're excited.
Yeah, we're super excited. Can you tell?
Yes, we are.
I ordered the vinyl the second it was.
I did too. I waited in
line.
line.
Walking off the stage and I was refreshing the shop app. Yeah.
I was waiting. I was in line to buy for 20
Oh my God. Can we talk about scalpers for a second, though? Because I saw a post that a scalper or a resale website, I guess, was talking to the people that follow their page, because it gives like a bunch of advice about resale and stuff. And they said, be ready because Taylor's going to do something. So be ready on her site. And so lots of people were ready on the site. They bought that very fancy collector's edition DVD, the collector's edition CD with like all the booklet and the like bookmark and stuff, which was selling from her website for $17.99 for a collector's edition, which is great. But people were waiting, not even people who like her, like just resellers were waiting and bought them up, and now they're being sold for like hundreds of dollars.
I hate scalpers like that.
But it sucks, dude. Like that's so shit.
I mean that's what happened when we were at for the tour too. Especially the resellers. It didn't help at all, and then they had to resell like 5 times as much as the price.
You know what the problem is? That the resellers, like the demand for that shit is gonna go away. It is gonna go away, and so they're gonna be left with stuff they can't sell. So
I also hope Eras Tour get a DVD or a steelbook.
That'd be nice. I don't think it'll happen, but it would be nice.
I would love to get one, but hi, Robin.
What's that?
Do you want some rice pudding?
We're almost done.
Do you want some rice pudding?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I made rice pudding. I'm excited. About it.
She's very excited about that.
It tastes good.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing your perspective on T Swift.
I'm excited. Do you think that she's going to release the track lengths, or the lyrics before the songs? Because I would go hard for some lyrics on this.
I want lyrics more than that.
I want lyrics. I don't really care about that. I mean, the length would be interesting.
Well, if we see the lyrics, we might get a judge of the length. Like if it's like 5 verses.
Yeah. Well, because remember, for the bonus track, The Lakes, the lyrics were dropped in advance of the actual track being dropped. So I remember reading that and being like, oh, I wonder how this is going to sound when put to music, because it's a really interesting poem. But I wonder, anyway.
Anyways.
Cool.
Exciting times.
And with that, the Swiftie segment concludes.
And now we're swimming into, I don't know what we're going next to.
Oh, Sean, you didn't read the schedule.
I did. I forgot.
That really bums me out. That really bums me out a little bit,
I read like an hour before we started, okay?
That's okay. Actually, our next section here to wrap up everything before we talk about some of the appearances that Brick City Blockade is going to be at this coming year.
Oh, I see it. Andrew, you up?
Thank you, Sean Michaud. Oh, yeah, there it is. Andrew's up next. Okay. So what's going on with Commander Nerd here in 2024? Of course, if folks don't know, Andrew is a fantastic YouTuber over at Commander Nerd. By the way, nice.
I wouldn't say fantastic.
I don't know, fantastic. You're a fantastic podcaster. You've learned so much over the years, and
you didn't learn shit.
Really coming around. What's that, Sean?
What? I didn't say anything. Hey, go on.
We'll review the video. And make sure that we catch what Sean said.
Sean's going to edit it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to put me in the timeout?
Yeah.
Put him in timeout. So, Andrew does amazing stuff over at Commander Nerd. What's coming up here in 2024? What are the Commander Nerd alerts that we should know about?
Well, I got a watch along coming up on Friday, which would be a watch along of the 2014 Godzilla movie. Nice. We're doing the Godzilla films leading up to
Godzilla -1. Oh, you say 2014 or
2014? Godzilla -1 was fantastic. I'll talk about that another
I do
day.
want to see that.
It's the sequel to Oppenheimer.
Have you watched the Monarch series?
No, I don't have Apple TV.
No, I like it. It's really good.
Okay. But I have a watch along this Friday, Tuesday, regular Steelbook Crew hunt. We will be going to Silver Screen Con Part 3 this year.
Nice.
This will be our 3rd year in a row attending. Those who don't know, Silver Screen Con is a horror convention put on by the band Ice Nine Kills. Those who don't know about the band Ice Nine Kills, they are a Massachusetts-based band where each song is based on a horror movie or a horror book. And the way they do their concerts is not only is it a regular concert, but they also put on like a performance and a play in a way, because people are getting killed on stage or Michael Myers is showing up in the crowd. Nice. And it's actually really cool. So we're going to that, and just more watch alongs, more podcasts, just more stuff.
I love the dynamics of the watch along. Sean's gonna have to join in on a watch along at some point, because it's so much fun. It's great. The Star Wars ones were awesome. Andrew, the one thing that I love about the watch alongs and the way that you do them is it feels very Mystery Science Theater. And
yeah.
It's like that's
exactly the inspiration I got for it.
It's so good. It's such a throwback, and being a part of that is just.
Speaking of Mystery Science Theater, I did meet Joe Bob Briggs at Silver Screen Con last year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, was he a cool person in person?
Yeah, he was really nice. And he was in a few of their music videos and stuff like that. So he's already friends with those from Ice Nine Kills and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I've heard really good things about him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
The one on my list that I'm hoping they're bringing this year is Matthew Lillard. Because they got Skeet last year, so they just need him for the original Scream Ghostface. So
this is really building up over the years, hasn't it, Andrew?
Like, yeah, really they started at in Danvers, Mass. It was just at a hotel. They're moving it this year to Worcester, where they used to have the Rock and Shock convention. So it's at a bigger venue this year. And the best thing about this is the concert is literally right across the street. So we can literally go from the convention to the concert.
Is it at the Palladium, the concert?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a great venue, too.
Last year it was in Lynn. And the funny thing is it was where the auditorium was in Lynn. It's also their government office, too. So,
wow.
So Ice Nine Kills is like killing people on stage while people are like having their meetings in their offices.
Oh man,
just your normal 9 to 5 job.
Yeah,
normal 9 to 5.
And then the funeral portrait, their 2 guitar players were kissing on stage. It was great.
Nice, awesome. Nice. So I mean, it feels like, Andrew, and you guys are an intricate part of Silver Scream Con and actually being able to go there, do coverage and whatever else. I mean, based on your experiences there and whatever else, I mean, this is kind of how Fan Expo Boston started, was very similar, very small convention figuring its way out. It's got that feel to it. Every time I see it's like they're just adding more people to it. And then in the panel, adding more panels, adding more performance, stuff like that to it.
I will say, from all the conventions I've been to, just from the first year alone, it still surprises me of how well organized Silver Scream Con was. Yeah. And still is. Like, it was at a small venue, but I didn't feel like I was in a sardine can like I sometimes do at Fan Expo or even Rhode Island Comic Con. It was so well organized. Like, everyone was like, this is where this line for this photo up, this is where you go here. Everything was like perfect. So I'm happy that it's getting to a bigger venue. And like, I was even talking with Dave and them. I'm like, I won't be surprised if one year it's going to be at the convention center in Boston. And they're going to have the concert at that same venue because it's big enough that they'd be able to do that.
Yeah. And the interesting thing too, Andrew, is in terms of horror conventions, and you would know this better than Sean and I, there really isn't anything that's what's that?
What? It's like because you're wimps.
Yeah, because we're wimps. Yeah,
sure.
Wimpy. Ooh, you little scared. In terms of horror conventions, a lot of them happen closer to big cities. So like New York, Philadelphia, DC, like the further south you go, the more there are. Like, I know Atlanta has a really big horror con that happens because that's where all the Walking Dead and everything is filmed. Yeah. This really does have the potential to be the Northeast's premier horror Comic-Con fest.
Yeah, because years ago it was Rock and Shock. That was one of the biggest horror conventions in New England. And then they stopped doing that. And then when Silver Scream Con happened, it's like, oh, great. This is like Rock and Shock again. Because it was a horror convention. And then they would have concerts like on Saturdays, which is what they're doing for Silver Scream Con. It's always Saturday is the concert.
That's awesome.
And it's just, it's so weird with the horror or even the metal community. Like, you see all these people with like contacts on, tattoos, everything like that. You expect them to be like mean and everything, but they're the biggest sweethearts. I met this guy named Billy Buttons. He was passing out custom buttons to everyone. He was super nice, wearing like the white contacts and everything. And like, just being a part of like that kind of community or anything just shows how good some fandoms can be. Like, to kind of go back to like the whole Taylor Swift stuff, it's like any kind of celebrity I feel bad for, because like if Spencer from Ice Nine Kills like got together with somebody else, it's like, oh well, what the fuck, he should be single forever so I can be horny for him. He's a good looking guy. But like
love that answer. Yeah,
that is so true though.
But it's also like, at conventions itself, like I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the photo up Hayden Christensen did at a convention. Is like he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like there needs to be that boundary because at the end of the day, yes, these are celebrities, but they're also people.
Yeah.
They're not your boyfriend. They're not your friend. You're just meeting this person, but they're also not wanting to disappoint their fans because then they'd be like, "Oh, he didn't do such and such a thing."
Realize that you've known of them for a really long time, and they just met you 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Like that's weird. Just from a weird, like from a bring it down to a personal level, right?
Mhm.
If somebody I've never met walks up to me and says, "Your favorite color is purple, and your birthday is X, Y, and Z," and this is all of you, I'd be like, "You are a stalker."
Yeah.
Now, like so.
Is this a prank? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's why
I've never seen you before in my life. Like back up. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
And
But
I feel like it gets worse with those that are in like bands and stuff like that. Like it gets to an even creepier like side with all that stuff.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. So we should be staying tuned for more stuff that comes to Silver Screen Con, more of the stuff that's happening over with Commander Nerd, all of the live streams and all of the watch along.
Well, I'm gonna continue the Star Wars ones, so you better join those ones, Robin.
Well, and speaking of that too, Andrew, really exciting stuff also in 2024, the return of a very specific show.
Wars of the Wills.
Oh,
It's coming back after the last Wars of the Wills was what, 2019?
2019.
So a 5-year hiatus.
Hiatus, yeah.
5-year
of the
hiatus.
But I mean, it has to come back. There's just so much stuff going on. The conversations you and I have on Words of the Wills, the ability now that you can bring folks in, you can bring special guests, you can bring folks in to have conversations. It's an extension of the, what you were building with Words of the Wills early on. And now's a great time because, I mean, in terms of access to talking to folks, and the technology has progressed in a way that now
it's crazy how much the technology has changed in just the 5 years we put Wars of the Wills on the shelf.
Yeah, seriously. So folks should be staying tuned for when that launches again. And I know you and I will have further conversations about, how that's going to launch up and get out there. And, it's going to be really exciting stuff. And I'm really
excited. Robin's going to join the watch along of Saw 10. There has been.
Oh. John's like, okay, this is news to me. So one of the other things you guys can check us out at this year too, we're really excited. It's our first time really getting into this, and I've been watching it from afar for the longest time. We're super excited that we're going to be on Friday, March 22nd, just before we have New England Toy and Record Show. All of us are getting together to be at PAX East 2024 at the Boston Convention Center. I cannot wait. I have not been to a video game board, tabletop gaming convention in a very, very long time.
This may be my first time.
Yeah, this is my first time going to PAX East.
But we've known people over the years that have been like, "Oh, I'm going to PAX East. Oh, I'm going to PAX East," to check out everything. It's going to be a great opportunity to kind of explore and do coverage around gaming.
It's just a different experience than Expo. And
it's a really exciting time, and big shout out to PAX East for press passes. I know, Sean, you're still waiting on yours.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, Renee's still waiting on hers. Worst comes to worst, she'll just get a regular day pass.
Yeah, I think it'll be very similar. Whoever we can figure out needs a day pass, we'll just grab one. But we're really excited to do coverage from PAX East, kind of cover the gaming end of things, and it's going to be a unique opportunity to see what's being offered out there too. We've got the Indiana Jones game coming up down the road. There's going to be a lot of programming that's based around video games that are coming up. Today, we also had Star Wars and Marvel and Disney talk about Epic Games and
Mhm.
some of the stuff that they're going to be doing around
It's
that.
basically a collab with Fortnite from what it looks like. And it
Yeah.
looks like it's the Disney parks, but mixed with everything.
Yeah.
Is it like Disney Infinity?
Kind of
Yeah,
like
kinda.
that, yeah.
Yeah. You were going to say something, though, Andrew, beyond that?
I was mostly going to ask if you guys read up on the new Universal park that they're building.
Oh, I did see a little bit of that.
It looks really interesting and very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving now what they're doing is they're saying, hey, by the way, you're planning a Disney trip. Well, guess what? You got to plan 2 or 3 days over at Universal too. So
Yeah, because
It's a really cool concept of what I've seen.
yeah, Epic Universe, which is a Celestial park, a How to Train Your Dragon park, which honestly surprised me. Another Harry Potter park, which doesn't surprise me. The one that I'm excited for is the Dark Universe one, which is the classic Universal monsters.
Oh, they're finally, yes.
And then, of course, Super Nintendo World.
Yeah, we're finally going to get Super Nintendo. I cannot wait for that.
That I'm excited for.
But it just sounds really cool because 5 immersive worlds, 1 amazing theme park. Introducing Universal's Epic Universe, some of the creative team behind Universal Epic Universe, explore extraordinary. Yeah, so Celestial World is basically the hub, and then there's these portals to these other worlds. So there's a portal to the Ministry of Magic for Harry Potter, and then one to Super Nintendo World. It's like that just sounds so cool to me.
Yeah.
That it's one, I'm gonna be broke if I ever manage to be able to go there.
We're all gonna be broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean,
But it sounds like something like that. It's like, don't get me wrong, like Galaxy's Edge, like it's great.
It is.
The great way they did it. But it does sound like that's something they could have done with not only that, but even the Marvel universe. Because I know technically in Florida they can't build anything Marvel there because of Universal Studios and stuff like that. But I don't know. Either way, it sounds cool, and I'm very interested to see what else they could maybe expand on with that.
Yeah, Universal has that we always talk about how Disney has the ability to expand because of the land and everything else that they're able to kind of work around with the Florida government. But I think sometimes we do forget that Universal has very similar power, has a very similar ability to go to the state of Florida and say, hey, we want to expand upon this or upon this or upon this. Yeah, you're right. It's going to hurt our wallets at the end of the day. Like, I have not
also, they need to build a Lord of the Rings world.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
I am surprised they haven't done anything for that.
I just need Helm's Deep. I just need Helm's Deep. Make me walk into Helm's Deep.
Or even just the Shire.
Just go to New Zealand. Just go to New Zealand at that point. They have Hobbiton there.
Then again, it'd probably be less money than actually going to Universal. So,
and I think you have better experience if you go to New Zealand. Anyways, just say that.
Yeah, it's New Zealand.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm super excited to see. I think we're going to have a lot of that here in 2024. I think we're going to have a lot of surprises.
And then live coverage at Candy Lake Park.
Yeah, there we go. See? I'm totally about that. That's our local Disney World, essentially. It's Canopy Lake Park.
That and Six Flags.
Six Flags, more fun.
Canopy is more local.
Canopy is definitely more local. But especially at Halloween when they do their Halloween celebration at Canopy Lake Park, that's supposedly a lot of fun.
Which actually
2025, right?
Ice Nine Kills actually filmed one of their music videos at Canopy Lake Park.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's based off of It. So like Pennywise and all that stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So as we wrap it up here, folks, please make sure, of course, to check us out over on Twitter at Real Fandom Talk, over on Facebook.
Is it Twitter or is it X?
Blockade. X, whatever. I'm not gonna play into Elon's little games anymore. I'm just not gonna.
I mean, he is a little man, so
he is a little man. He's a little man that likes to build big rockets. That's his thing.
It's because he doesn't have a big
And
rocket.
big square trucks.
And steal other people's designs. Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. That is his thing.
And name his kid XYZ.
Oh, I was going to say shout out to that, but no, we're not doing that.
Mm.
As we move and conclude here, folks, it is that time. The first time here in 2024, the end of the show. It's a little thing we like to call.
What's in Robin's closet?
No! Whoa! No, don't you answer.
It's Robin.
Yeah.
John, could you answer the question properly, please?
No.
We're going to end the episode the same way we started it. No. There's going to be a lot of that at PAX East, Andrew. We can go to the same restaurant.
Robin, I don't know if you've told the story, but before we end, you have to tell the story behind that.
So we were finishing up at Fan Expo Boston, and we were
2018.
2018, yes.
2018.
We were going out to dinner. All right, so this is after day on the convention floor, going to panels, being pre Shaelyn, yes. Unfortunately, and
It's okay, you couldn't handle me that.
whoa.
Yeah, he could barely handle me.
So as we were getting prepared and heading over to the restaurant for dinner, we checked in. It was really busy, and Andrew, Renee, and I took a seat. And out of nowhere, this is a very dark venue. Sean, we went there with Shaelyn and Aaron, the restaurant that was attached to the hotel, the pub.
Yeah.
Really dark in there. Couldn't see what was going on. Out of nowhere, there's this noise that happens. And Andrew, Renee, and I just stop, look at each other, and just start laughing. And we just impersonate it the entire time. So from the bar, it got quiet for a brief second. I think something was going on with baseball or something on the TV.
Yeah.
It was just somebody just went Doink! Just randomly out of nowhere. And we started losing it, laughing. Come to find out, before we were about to get seated, just literally seconds after the noise, a guy in a Spider-Man tight costume comes from around the bar and leaves the restaurant. And I'm like, did Spider-Man do that? The entire night, we're sitting there eating dinner, and I go to, I have a burger or something, and I go to lift it up towards my mouth, and Renee goes, Doink! And I slam the burger into my face. It was the going thing the entire time at Fan Expo. Randomly, Andrew and Renee, between every time I went to take a drink, they go. So there was that.
That's still an ongoing thing, too.
That's still an ongoing thing. However, forever in lore, when we go to Boston Comic Con or the Fan Expo or PAX East now, is going to be forever in the
That's
lore.
how we find each other.
That's how we find each other. We lose each other. We go. We did it at the fair too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did it a couple different times. It was so stupid.
6 years later, still
there. It's still there. So, Mr. Andrew Garish, where can the good people find you across social media?
You can find me on YouTube at Commander Nerd. You can also find me on Twitter at Commander Nerd as well. Surprisingly, that wasn't taken. You can also find me on Instagram at Andrew62592. You can find me on Dave's channel at Durant Cinema as well as Tony's. You can find me everywhere.
Nice. We like that. Mr. Sean Misha, how about yourself?
And at PAX East.
And at PAX
East. And PAX East. You could find me at this address. No, I'm kidding. You can follow me on Twitter at SeanMisha1. Instagram, it's ZoneZ. You can add me on Facebook, Sean Show.
He won't accept you.
Probably not.
He will also probably not answer you within he'll probably get back to you within 6 months.
True. That is true.
That's fair. Shaelyn, where can good people find you on social media?
Can't, because that's all on private.
Well, would you look at that? Well,
Only real friends follow her.
That's not true.
I'm joking. Love you, Shaelyn.
I love you too.
Taylor Swift follows her.
No, she doesn't, unfortunately.
Well, I know we'd never hear the end of it if she followed.
I would never hear that.
Yes.
That, in fact, would be something I would never shut up about. That is true. Yes.
Shaelyn, you would rub it in my face.
I would.
Yeah,
With love. With so much love. But yes.
I stubbed my toe.
I don't post
I
enough
stub
to be
my
followed.
toe.
I don't post enough
And
to be
she'll look at me
followed.
and be like, guess who didn't stub her toe? I'm like, what?
I don't do
I'm in
that.
pain. She's like, I didn't stub mine though.
Well, I mean, you've been in pain for 30 years, Robin.
I'm thinking you're
I'm
pudding
sorry, what is that? No, bring my pudding back. No.
I said
What?
you've been in pain for 30 years.
This is until I met
In
Shaelyn.
pain or a pain?
Since you came out of the womb, you've been in pain.
Oh, I think he's in pain for 30 years.
Yes.
Final one of the night. Shout out for being in pain ever since being out of the womb. Shout out to that.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
But Robin, where can the people find you?
They can find me not in pain. You over on social media at X_Robin W Vote.
No.
Over on Instagram
It's Twitter.
at IG_ Robin W Vote. And of course, the Brick City Blockade on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts,
Robin
over
Weenie
on Facebook. I'm sorry. What was that?
Nothing.
Are we still on Stitcher? Is Stitcher still a thing?
Stitcher, yeah. Stitcher is still a thing. Not a lot of people use it, but it's out there.
What about T Public?
Oh, yeah. We have a fantastic merch store over at T Public.
We're gonna put new stuff.
Brand new stuff with
Let's
PAX East
go.
coming up and, all kinds of different merch. I hear Sean's going to love this. And Andrew, you'll probably like this too. T Public is trying to move into doing hats finally.
Oh, sweet.
I want a Brick City hat,
So,
please.
yeah, I
Give me
know.
a cap, please.
Commander Nerd Hat.
Yeah, seriously. We got to get them all. Get them all out there.
Catch 'em
So
all.
stay tuned for details around that. But
Like Pal World.
what world?
Pal World. It's essentially Pokemon, but you can capture people too.
With guns?
Yes, you
Which
can
I
actually
heard.
use guns in it too. But Robin, if you really wanted to know what I said, I said Robin Weenie Vote.
That's, I mean.
You're kidding because the
Big
numbers
weenies.
or something.
Thanks for that, show.
You're welcome.
Oh, we had Wiener.
Weenie Hat Junior?
We had juniors. Oh, excuse you. Anyway,
Robin,
Until
you
next
went
time.
a long way.
until next time, folks, we will see you on the next episode of the podcast.
Love you.
See y'all soon.
We're finally ending this.
Wow.
Goodbye.
We'll be back in another 2 years.
Oh gosh.
Oh no! I haven't even stopped recording yet.
I mean, for a 2-hour podcast, probably.
Yeah. We're all
We're just gonna remove
And-
Andrew. there for a
and
second
Andrew
because,
just
Evicted.
see y'all later.
Bye.
Peace.
I'm stopping Cam.